Good morning, MacLaren. Today is Monday, May 10th, 2021. In these next assemblies, I have the great privilege of doing a lot of honorings. Honorings are something that we always do at the end of the year at MacLaren, and that means that we are paying public respect to people. So in your classrooms, your teachers always end the year by honoring each of you, every single student in the class, honoring each of you individually. But there are also bigger honorings, bigger showings of public respect that we do across the whole school. And that's what these assemblies are for. Paying public respect to people, to whole classes, for their hard work and for their excellence. So I will be doing a lot of honorings of students starting tomorrow, but today it is my privilege to do some honorings of our departing staff. And that would be both your teachers, but also some of the support staff, the aides and assistants who also play such a big role in your lives. This is always a bittersweet time in the life of a school. Every year in any school, we say goodbye to people. And it is bittersweet is a wonderful word. There's bittersweet chocolate that has such a high percentage of dark chocolate that it has a certain bitterness to it, but it's still chocolate, so it's still sweet. And as a feeling, bittersweet is a wonderful word that evokes how we feel when something makes us both sad and happy. It's bitter because we don't like to say goodbye to people, and we have close kinship and bonds of affection with people, and it is hard to say farewell. At the same time, it is sweet because we have those bonds of affection, because we have all these days that we have spent together in a classroom or as a school, and that sweetness is very sustaining, and it is really a joy for us. So I want to encourage all of you to share your affection and your gratitude with these teachers and support staff before the end of the year. And just you have people that you care about and they care about you, and so you can just really make a point of every day expressing that gratitude and saying thank you to your teachers for their hard work and for all that they have done to help you. We will start with Ms. McManus. Ms. McManus brought a great deal of creative energy to MacLaren this year. She is a former student. She is my former student. She was my sixth grader quite some time ago. And as a former student, she entered the school with a real understanding of our mission and vision. She built a lot of trust quickly with many students, and that allowed her to really support people and give them a lot of care. Ms. McManus led with care and compassion when she was helping students who were struggling. You, the students, have described Ms. McManus as helpful, nice, kind, a good listener, and someone who really just helps people. She will be deeply missed by the students and the staff who have come to rely on Ms. McManus' lovely personality to brighten everyone's day. Thank you, Ms. McManus. Ms. Leblanc. Ms. Leblanc came to MacLaren halfway through this very challenging year of COVID, and she jumped into a fun and energetic class. Ms. Leblanc has a gentle and a quiet way, and in that quiet way, she worked so hard to understand how the 2A class worked and to meet the needs of every single student. Ms. Leblanc is very cheerful in how she does any task that needs to be done, and she does it with a heart full of service. Her students benefited from her generosity and her patient manner because she really helps to embody our culture of kindness, friendliness, and peace. We are so grateful to Ms. Leblanc for her willing attitude and her gracious presence this year, and we wish her all the best in her next endeavors. Ms. Kent. Ms. Kent is truly one of the most caring individuals you will ever meet. She is so invested in her students' academic growth and their success and their personal growth as well. She really pours her heart and soul into the students and really truly believes in them and helps them to grow and to believe in themselves. Ms. Kent has been here since the beginning of the lower school. First, she worked on the third grade team in Mrs. Park's class. And this year, she has worked from home with our distance learners. And I know that her distance learning students have felt so grateful for Ms. Kent's hard work and her care and her presence. Ms. Kent is moving on to her next chapter, but I know she holds all of you in the highest regard, cares so much about you, and I know we can expect to hear from her again down the line. Thank you, Ms. Kent. Mrs. Giles. Mrs. Giles came to MacLaren ready to embark on a new adventure, and she got one. She jumped in with both feet. Through this year that was so unpredictable and was so taxing, there was such a relentless workload for all the teachers. In that year, Mrs. Giles has really risen valiantly to the challenge. She provided so much structure and consistency in her classroom systems and routines. She created a very peaceful atmosphere for you, her students. And the 1A class caught on to Mrs. Giles's passion for history. She was so creative in putting together hands-on projects that brought history to life and sparked deep imagination and love of learning. We are grateful to Mrs. Giles for all her hard work, and we wish her all the best in her next adventure. Dr. Harding. Dr. Harding has been an incredibly gentle and generous spirit in the lives of his students. You know, Dr. Harding is a gifted music teacher, and he has many years of long experience leading college departments and mentoring music teachers in his own right. And yet, despite that, he came to MacLaren with so much intellectual humility. And he just really brought a spirit of graciousness to everything that he does. Dr. Harding's dedication to beauty, to musical exploration, and to helping us continue to build a musical culture in the lower school have all been such an asset to us. As Dr. Harding heads into retirement, MacLaren is so fortunate that he shared this last year of a long and distinguished career with us. Mr. Copeland. It feels as though Mr. Copeland has always been on the kindergarten team. He has set such an example of patience, kindness, and desire to learn. His dry sense of humor surprises and delights his coworkers. It comes out in meetings, and he says funny things in such a serious way that the other teachers are never quite sure if Mr. Copeland is joking. Throughout this year, Mr. Copeland has demonstrated such care, such attention to detail, and he makes all his colleagues' work go more smoothly. He makes the classes and the lessons so much more lively and interesting. And I know that his students feel so well loved and so well cared for with Mr. Copeland. We want to thank you, Mr. Copeland, for knowing and supporting your students so well, for setting aside time to celebrate with your colleagues, and for just being such a wonderful support to everyone you come into contact with. You are so kind and so generous to all of us. Thank you, Mr. Copeland. Ms. Dettman. Ms. Dettman ended her first year as a teacher in a global pandemic. And since then, through all of this strangeness and complexity, Ms. Dettman has worked very hard to learn our curriculum and our pedagogy while supporting her students and helping them to feel cared for and seen. Even as she has also been a tremendous support to her whole community outside the school. Ms. Dettman's love of history, she has a particular fondness for and dedication to the Titanic and to the Dutch resistance during World War II. And all of her detailed preparations and PowerPoints have really helped her students to fall in love with learning for its own sake. MacLaren is grateful for Ms. Dettman's dedication. We are really excited to see where her commitment to service takes her next. Mr. Seasley. Mr. Seasley has been here since the beginning of the lower school. He came to us right out of college, and he has grown into such a tremendous teacher in just these 3 short years. You know, Ms. Wilson, across the hall from Mr. Seasley, has worked very closely with him pretty much every day for the past 3 years. And she says that she has learned never to think that there is anything Mr. Seasley cannot do. That's a nice double negative for you. So a double negative is a positive. So if Ms. Wilson says that she has learned never to think that there is anything Mr. Seasley cannot do, it's like saying she thinks Mr. Seasley can do anything. And it's true. Mr. Seasley has led our Singapore math program. He has developed into a truly exceptional 2nd grade teacher whose classes are characterized by deep engagement and joy in learning. And he has been an anchor and a leader for this young lower school program. You all know Mr. Seasley is tender-hearted, and he is brilliant, and he is going to be missed as he moves back home to be closer to friends and family. MacLaren is forever grateful to our own Mr. Seasley for loving the students so well and for sharing all his gifts with us these past 3 years. Thank you, Mr. Seasley. So students, even though this is bittersweet for those of you who are saying goodbye to your teacher, please take these last 2 weeks of school that we have together and just really enjoy that quality time together. Really show a lot of care and affection for your teachers and enjoy them. And be sure to say thank you as often as possible, and make sure you find little opportunities to connect. Okay, my friends, I hope you all have a wonderful second to last week of school, and that today and every day you have a day of kindness, friendliness, and peace. We're all in this together. We will see you back here tomorrow.